theater that night met a client after the theater at the Taper, but he had time to get to Santa Barbara and back. And on the afternoon of the attack, you and Sloan had had a screaming fight.
What about?
The gallery, money, your money, which Sloan spends and has spent in your absence with such enthusiasm.
Claudia's recoveries changed my plans to sell the gallery.
Have you discussed this with her?
There's no point. It's an important bond with her father. She won't do it. Barry, for the moment, I don't want to draw heavily on Claudia's and my joint funds. But as you point out, there are deficits to cover. I have in my private collection 2 excellent Turners. There's considerable interest in the museum, so I expect to realize enough to cover the situation. Temporarily. That'll be all. Thanks.
I love you. I don't want you to go back to Claudia. How's that for a miss?
My dear Alex, I thought you understood. My marriage has been given back to me. Claudia is my wife. I intend to do everything I can to take care of her and stay married to her.
It's the money, isn't it?
That's unworthy of you.
No. It's just who you are. I want you for who you are. Claudia wants you for who she thinks you are.
It's interesting. Your first thought was the money.
Why?
See, I've always believed that Claudia's money is a much bigger issue for you than you're willing to admit.
I missed you.
Shared some beautiful times, Miss Claudia, and believe me, this is one of the best.
Oh, Lizzie. Oh, my beautiful Lizzie. Look at you. Andy? I'm so happy to see you. I'm fine. I'm okay.
Oh, darling, no. Here, let me get that.
It's very heavy, Noel.
I've been lifting slabs of granite all my life. Andy's a sensitive child. He'll be all right.
I don't understand.
He's just scared.
Come sit with me for a minute, will you? Of what? Tell me.
I think he's afraid. You won't be here.
I am here.
But you haven't been. Sometimes I used to be frightened too. After the crash, when Daddy died, and you're in the hospital the first time. Sometimes I used to think you weren't coming back. That you died too. So I know how he feels.
And then the coma.
Yes. And when you married Sloan, there were always so many people around. And Andy, he doesn't like a lot of people. He really enjoys just being by himself. Just be our mother. You know?
Yes.
Maybe I'll go down and see if I can get him to talk to me. He usually will.
Love you, Lizzie. Thank you.
Elizabeth's a treasure.
Oh, yes.
Hi, Alex.
Hi, sweetheart. Sorry I'm late. I got hung up in traffic. Ready to go to the movie? Where's your sister?
I don't know.
They're getting so much better.
Hi, Alex.
There you are. Let me know when you're up for a walk.
Hey, Andy, a new sweater. Really take that. Stop. Oh, hey.
Claudia? Claudia? My timing is terrible. I know you're overwhelmed. But I have no choice. I'm in trouble and I need a favor.
Well, what's wrong?
Well, I intended to ask you before you were hurt. But this past year, the problem has only gotten worse.
What is it, Noelle?
Oh, I've lost the grant for my work at Luxor. I know I've asked you so many times over the years.
How much do you need?
Well, I've juggled the debts for last winter's dig, $20,000, and an additional $50,000 for this year.
That's fine. Of course.
Thank you.
Noelle, for heaven's sake, it's your life's work.
No, you misunderstand. Oh, I'm profoundly grateful. It's just that I hate having to ask.
I'm always happy to give to you. You know that. Has it always been like this? I'll make sure that the check is ready this afternoon. Do you know why I studied art history?
No.
Because I can't do what you can do. That is really good.
It's okay.
Andy, would you stop drawing for a minute? please. Andy, Ted told me that you saw that night the man who hurt me running down the hall, and then you saved my life. You must have been very frightened.
I don't like to talk about it.
No, I'm sure you don't. I just want you to know that I'm all right now. And no one's ever going to hurt me again, or take me away from you, or you from me. I'm here. I promise. I can't tell if you heard me or not.
I heard.
Do you understand, though?
Detective Harris is here.
Thank you, Bertie. That is so kind.
This place is quite impressive.
I grew up here.
You were fortunate.
In one way, certainly.
I mean, my whole apartment building can fit in that corner over there. Look, I've been thinking a lot about your family, how everybody relates, you know?
Well, the dynamics are interesting, aren't they?
Well, any family's interesting, even mine, which is your basic no-option model. One mother, one father, and still kick my butt.
Oh, my father was special. He always took care of everything. I really miss him. Have a seat, please.
All right. Why did your father divorce your stepmother? I'm sorry, Mrs. Pye, but...
Claudia, please.
Claudia. But you know, your take on this is pretty important.
My father divorced Noelle because she was having a very public affair. I think now she was just trying to get his attention because most of his time was taken up with me.
And the divorce left her and Alex pretty well fixed for money.
No, on the contrary. Noelle agreed to a settlement of $50,000 a year for Alex's support and trust. That was it.
Why does Mrs. Duvesant dislike your husband so much?
My father was Sloane's mentor. In some ways, they're a lot alike. And, well, I was just jealous of their relationship. I also think that Sloane encouraged the divorce.
All right. Let's go back to the hospital. That voice. Have you remembered anything else?
Just fragments, feelings. I don't know if they're dreams or... I don't know what they are. But nothing concrete, certainly nothing helpful.
Well, if you come up with anything that starts to make sense, no matter how trivial, will you let me know?
Of course. Do you think Sloane tried to kill me?
Do you?
No. And I really miss my husband.
In the top of the fourth period, yellow team has possession as they head down the center. Red team trailing as the score is 14-11. There's a nice hit by number 3 of the yellow team. That's Sloane Parr. By the red team, the ball goes out of play. We're in the fourth and final jump. The ball is thrown back into play. Yellow team takes possession, moves it down the center. Parr moves the ball past the team mark with a nice booming shot.
Marcy Belcamp moving in at 2 o'clock. Mother's friend, Major Gossip.
Darling child.
Marcy?
How wonderful to see you. And how glorious you look.
Thank you.
Oh, Alex, sweetheart, I'm so sorry we missed your opening. We were in Paris. Well, your husband is playing brilliantly as usual.
Keeping us right away at 30.
Sloane is an absolute assassin. Oh, dear. How maladroit.
Oh, it's all right, Marcy.
Well,
Final score of the match here today at Santa Barbara Field, 15-11. The high scorer of the day was Sloane Parr with 5 goals to his credit.
Well played.
Why didn't you tell me you were coming?
She wanted to surprise you.
Hello, Alex.
And who is this? I know we haven't met because I would remember you.
I picked him up in England last summer. He's 5 years old. His name's Buford's Best.
Magnificent.